Welcome to your pre-roll ads. The stream will start soon. This project that Shoveler and I have put on, and others, has been a lot of work, and we want more to come from it than just entertainment. Playing the game is fun. It's great to share this experience together, but we want this to benefit someone. We want it to benefit people who need. Shoveler's passionate about the Poly project. This serves the homeless in LA. There are lots of ways to donate to this project. They help the homeless there in Los Angeles. And you can go to the website. You can donate clothing items. You can donate money. You can participate in a 5K run, I believe. So consider helping out if you appreciate the work we've done to put on this league. I encourage you to donate time, money, items, whether it be to Polly's project or something local. I guarantee you there are people in your community who need more than you. If you're participating in this league, chances are you have some you have leisure time and you have wealth that may not seem abundant, but it's more than what a lot of people have. So consider helping people locally as well. As for myself, I help out local ministries, but I also help out international ministries. SAM Ministries is an organization. It's a 501c3 registered here in the United States. I serve on the board, and they work in Brazil and Mozambique to help people there. So hello, everyone. A bit of a rough start here. You are on a stream delay. It is my sincere apologies. I would like to interact in real time with you guys. I've started the stream and then realized that I had the stream delay enabled for a game I was going to play last night. So you're not going to be watching in real time. So if you want to participate in real time with me, hop on Discord and we can chat and just spectate the game. So if you want to co-cast with me, feel free to do that. If you're watching YouTube, welcome, and I will try to interact with you in the chat, the YouTube chat, but I'm going to be ahead of you by 5 minutes, so it's going to be very hard for me to interact in real time. I'll try my best. So my apologies. I messed that up. Streaming is like I'm still learning. Let's just put it that way. And getting all the presets set up when you just came from family dinner can be challenging. Anyway, we're looking at the drafts here. It looks like I'm Gonna Die picked Pilgrims, Lowdown Legends picked Arena for their pick, and the ban of Black Forest from I'm Gonna Die, and a ban of Hyperrandom Nomad from Lowdown Legends. And our admin pick looks like Step. And then in terms of civs, it looks like weird people have picked Magyars, Humans, the Berbers. I don't think those are Melly's picks. We have a ban of Turks, Bohemians, Vikings, and is that Spanish? I'm looking on a really small screen right now. Let me see if I can make it larger. Maybe not. Maybe I'm out of luck here. I'll put it on my larger display. There we go. Celts got picked. Good. So Melly got her Celts. Yeah, Mongols, Malians, Byzantines, and Tatars were picked by... So Charles Martel, that's the Lowdown Legends. I've put their icons in the corner so you can track which team is which. And as an overview of the teams while we wait for the draft to come in, I'm Gonna Die is composed of Melly Bean and Secretary E. Melly Bean is about 500 elo. She's had one win to like 10 losses in 1v1 ranked, which puts her just above 500, but her win rate is very low right now. So I'm betting she's below that 500. Lowdown Legends is composed of Charles Martel as well as Gary's Left Foot. I've played a lot with Gary's Left Foot. I've had the pleasure of damaging him plenty on the opposing team and teaming with him and Charles Martel. They are both mid elo. They're kind of around my range. Maybe Gary's slightly below me. I would say Charles Martel is definitely above me. So maybe 1100, 1200, or 1000. It's something somewhere around there. Above 1000 for both of them, but maybe not way above 1000. So we're looking at this review in terms of civs. Weird People, which is I'm Gonna Die, has picked Magyars, they've picked humans, they've picked Berbers, they've picked Celts. They have banned the Turks, the Bohemians, the Vietnamese, the Goths, and the Slavs. Lowdown Legends has picked Mongols, Malians, Byzantines, Tatars, Italians. They have banned Vikings, Spanish, Romans, Khmer, and Wei. And we just got a pick of Persians and Japanese. And we have a pick of Italians from Lowdown Legends, as well as Saracens. And what's the final pick from Lowdown Legends? Do they know that they have a pick still? Hopefully they didn't miss that. Burgundians. And then we have Huns as the final pick. So I'm betting Melly will be playing Huns. She'll be playing Celts. And then she'll be playing... Boy. I don't know. Persians, maybe? War elephants? I really don't know what her third civ is supposed to be. She's not familiar with these other civs, really. She's played Huns. She's played Celts. I know those two. So it'll be interesting to see. We can speculate about maps versus civs. I'm gonna actually get in game here, guys, so that I can. I'm gonna also have to enable audio here so that you can hear my in-game audio. If you're just joining us, this is the match between I'm Gonna Die and Lowdown Legends, Melly Bean and Secretary E versus Gary's Left Foot and Charles Martel. We have a very high elo and a very low elo teamed together in I'm Gonna Die, and two mid elos teamed together in Lowdown Legends. I don't want to insult Charles Martel. He's a very good player, but I would say they're more mid elo than Secretary E and Melly Bean, which are definitely on the far ends of the spectrum for our league, which makes a very interesting dynamic to watch. All right, let's see if I can find the match. It's probably getting set up in the lobby. And I apologize if I disappear for moments at a time. I may need to help Melly with sorting out getting into the game. But I'm not hearing anything from them, so it seems like maybe they're okay. There's a lot to coordinate. Here we go. First match will be Step. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And here we go. I wonder if I can search by... What if I do this? Refresh. No, that doesn't work. All right, we're going to have to go run. Run. It ain't easy being a streamer. Good luck. We gonna die. Okay. Spectate. We gonna die. Ah, there it is. All right. So we're just waiting on Melly to get in game. And yeah. If you're just joining us, we are currently just waiting on them to start the game. It looks like actually it has disappeared from my lobby browser, so it should have started. Oh, you know what? No, the lobby's full. Okay. So all the players are in the lobby. They're just picking civs, and we're gonna give them a few minutes here. I've got the draft up on screen. You can see that we're starting with step. This is an open map with a nomad start. You start with a bunch of villagers. You gotta plunk down your TC. It's a land map. There's no water, trees along the edges, resources everywhere. In fact, there's a lot of resources. One of our players, VK, has complained that there's too many resources in this. And anyway, so this that will be the admin pick and the first map in the match. And then we will move on to the losers map, which will either be Pilgrims or Arena. Actually, the loser of the first match gets to pick. They can pick either of them, either Pilgrims or Arena. So it'll be one of those two. Bans, Black Forest, Hyper Random Nomad. You can see the Civ picks here. Everyone, at least everyone in the league who's played with us regularly knows that Melly likes Celts, and indeed we've got Celts here in the Civ draft. And Huns will probably be her other Civ. I don't know what other Civ she'll play. Maybe Japanese. Likely she'll get Japanese for Pilgrims. And then Celts for Arena or Steppe. And then probably Huns actually for Steppe makes more sense because you get the horse. Huns also makes sense for Pilgrims. So yeah, I don't know. But Japanese makes a lot of sense for Pilgrims because of the discount on buildings. Although on Steppe, you can imagine if your mills are half off in terms of wood cost, you can spam your mills around the map. All right, looks like we're into game. I'm going to hit spectate here, and we're going to switch over to the in-game overlay. And we're going to get going here with game one. We've got a spectator delay still to wait on. And I'm going to repeat what I said before, and that is there is a stream delay. I forgot to remove it. There's no need for me to have a stream delay because there's a spectator delay built into the game already. So we aren't going to be exactly live time. You're going to be lagging. If you want to see what's happening in real time, feel free to spectate in-game. And I am on Discord. I am currently, actually, I need to enable my audio so you can hear the game audio. There we go. So my audio set up. If you want to co-cast, hop in and chat about the game, feel free. I see a few people are already on the Discord channel. You're welcome to chat about the game. We try to keep it family friendly here on my channel, so just keep that in mind. The only other thing I will mention is, yeah, if you're going to co-cast with me, you want to be in live time in game. You want to spectate in game, because watching my stream, you'll be 5 minutes behind me. Again, I just messed up my settings. I had it set up last night to actually play POV, and then I just didn't disable that when I was getting things going here. I came straight from basically supper and a movie night with the kids, so I didn't have a lot of time to get set up here. So my apologies, and I am keeping an eye on the YouTube chat, so I will try to reply to comments as they are made, and interact with you guys there as well. If you prefer to just stick to text comments, that's an option. All right, we're at 0 seconds. Oh, here we go. We're live. Game over. Whoops. What happened? Okay. Something happened. We're gonna have to figure out what's going on here. Oh boy. Return to map. Oops, sorry, let's re. What's the re? Shared exploration. Oh, yeah. Okay, they made a mistake in setting up the game. It happens to the best of us, or the worst of us. It happens to me all the time. In fact, I call myself worst host ever. All right, I'm going to switch us back to drafts while we wait. Sorry, guys, this is just part of watching live, is these things happen. So we gonna die. There we go. All right. Here we go again. Oh boy. All right. 108 seconds. I will switch back to in-game so you can see the delay. There you go. There's our delay. Pardon me, 1 second. All right, and we're in. So we have Melly Bean as the Huns. And let me just... All right, good. Our audio is working. Let's start at the top. Charles Martel is Mongols. Gary's Foot is Saracens. You've got Secretary as the Magyars, and we've got Melly as the Huns. Melly's in purple here, and we're going to just check our casting settings. Casting. Best of 3. I don't know why it's best of 5. League stage. And we're going to call this I'm Gonna Die. And we're going to call this, what's it, Lowdown Legends? Yeah. There we go. All right. And we'll catch up to real time. Sorry about that. All right, so advantage to Huns. Yeah, this is Melly. She's going to tuck into a corner. She's well trained by me. I like to be near wood and gold. She's got her horse, and so she can start to explore. Presumably, that's one of the benefits of Huns on a nomad map, and especially land nomad. So on regular nomad, you don't have your water, on regular nomad, you don't have the wood to build a dock. Whereas on steppe, it's a nomad start, but there's no water, so you don't need a dock. So there's no advantage to being a different civ. Huns are disadvantaged on a regular nomad map because they can't build a dock immediately, and building a dock immediately allows you to gain a strong economic advantage by fish booming. On this map, fish booming is irrelevant, so the horse is more valuable anyway. So she's exploring. Secretary here in green. The Magyar Hussar is a strong unit. I don't know if we're going to see some sort of like Phosphorus out of him where he goes up to Castle Age really fast and plays Magyar Hussar. The Magyars also do Cavalry Archer. And in fact, I played a game with him the other night on steppe, and he played Cavalry Archers with Magyars. So, was he Magyars? Maybe I'm imagining things. Anyway, so we can see Cavalry Archer. Magyars get good Cavalry Archers. One of their unique techs gives them extra Pierce, I believe, is the Civ advantage. Let's take a quick look at that. So, yeah, Magyars, we have mounted archers train faster, so that's obviously an advantage there. You can pump them out faster, your cavalry archers. We have Corvinian army. That affects, obviously, your Magyar Hussar. It's food only. It's basically a trash unit. Then recurve bow. It's +1 attack, +1 range to mounted archers. That's actually a really good tech. I'm thinking of the Tatars that get extra pierce armor on their cavalry archers. Scout line is cheaper. Villagers defeat wolves with 1 strike. That's awesome. I like that tech. Melee attack upgrades are free. That's also great. Makes for a strong scout rush. Huns, we have, they don't need houses, but they start with 100 wood. And cavalry archers cost less. And so they both actually have a cavalry archer focus, but Huns for Melly we're not going to see cavalry archers out of her. I guarantee that. Trebuchets fire more accurately at units and small targets. That's more advantageous. I'm sure there's some coaching going on behind the scenes between Melly and Secretary on nomadic maps. The first yeah, we know about the horse. Our unique techs are Marauders and Atheism. Marauders gets you Tarkans at the stable, and enemy relics generate less resources with Atheism, which we're not likely to see in this, I doubt. Stable units are trained faster, which doesn't really synergize with the Magyars, but in any case. All right. Oh, you know what? You start with a horse anyway. Right. On steppe, you start with a horse anyway, so the Huns don't really have any advantage on this map. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm playing catch-up here. There's actually not a lot of advantage to the Huns on steppe. Does she have 2 horses? She has 2 horses. Okay. So there's the advantage, is that she can explore twice as fast. So that's the advantage to Huns, is that you get an additional horse. Charles Martel is first up to feudal age. Let's take a look at what everyone's up to now. Sorry, I've been chatting about civ bonuses too long. He's taken lots of hunt in the middle. Mongols obviously have their hunt bonus. They're going to be up quick. And we're probably going to get scouts. And we've even got spear coming out, defensive spears. We're walled to the corner, to the edge of the map, rather. And we have small walls here for the wood line. I'm surprised that Secretary dropped his town center here rather than up against a wood line. He gave me a hard time a few games ago about not. Charles Martel has scouted this, and now his scout is locked in. Oh, man. What are you going to do? Just leave it there? And yeah, we got scouts coming out now from the Mongol player. We actually have 2 stables. Let's look at Gary. Gary is interesting. He's done the same thing, dropping his TC on berries. Now, maybe there's something to this strategy. Sing out in comments, guys. I have not seen Nomad-style games played this way. Normally, you find your wood line, first available wood line, you just drop a TC there. On step, I mean, basically the same thing. I always try to find gold as a combo, because that way you can take your gold and wood safely, which allows you to do a lot, right? You can make farms, and you can mine gold. You can do a lot with your gold, wood, and food. And food obviously coming from farming, or sheep for that matter. But I have not seen town centers put on berries before. Now maybe there's some rationale. Looks like Secretary here is going scouts early in feudal age here. You get the free attack upgrade, and so that helps. That makes your scouts pack a punch. They do more damage, and that has advantages for scout rushing. How many villagers did we lose there? Oh, let's take a look at Rise Collected. This isn't too surprising, but look at Charles Martel. He's a very strong player. This is where we look at our villagers. Yeah, it looks like we lost 2 villagers here from Gary. He's recovered now, but Secretary is really not much ahead of him anyway. He's doing a very good job of producing villagers. Looks like Charles is a bit slow with the villager production. Melly is where I would expect her to be based on her level. We've established this. We've got Secretary, who's a very high elo player, and Melly, who's a fairly low elo player. I described her win rate and her resultant elo before. And so you got to keep that in mind when you're looking at the statistics. It's like, yeah, there's a huge disparity. That's what we kind of expect to see. All right, Melly is up to feudal now, which means everyone's in feudal age. We have lots of scouts from Sec. It looks like he's losing them to spears. Small walls around his berries. It's interesting that he's taking the berries. We've got these walls. We're cutting the map. We're using our town center as basically the gate, securing this area. Really, you're just securing gold here. I guess a wood line as well. The chickens. We have some walls here up to the wood line and then back. Oh boy, we just lost a villager here from Gary. That stings. Well, spears are coming in. The pointy boys. He's staying away from them, but I think I've complained about scout rushes in the past. I'm no good with them. I lose to them, and I lose using them. Oh, down goes the pointy boy. Okay, Sec is the first to click up to Castle Age. Yeah, it looks like Charles is not there. He doesn't have enough food. Oh, Gary's the next to click up. Oh boy. We got bear interference. And here come the scouts for Melly. We've got a lot of exposed villagers, unfortunately, if he finds them. Is he going to find them? Let's see here. Garrison. It's Garrison. Hop in your TC, quick. Yeah, there you go. I noticed the server is Korea Central, which didn't make a lot of sense to me initially, and then I remembered that all these guys are in the Eastern Hemisphere, except for Melly. Melly's the only one in the Western Hemisphere, so that explains the server location. Just looking at chats to see if I'm missing anything. Hi Russ, will you be streaming the video here? Let me see if I can also stream onto Discord. How would I do that? Let's try. We'll try this. This may get ugly quickly. Share screen. There we go. I guess that makes sense. That works well. Yeah, so I'm streaming to Discord for those of you who might be on YouTube and want a live experience. It'll be live there because there's no stream delay. All right, Sex up to Castle Age now. We have 39 villagers from him, 34 and 35 from Charles and Gary, respectively. And Melly is at 24. Her villagers that are out over here have not been scouted by the opponent, which is good because they are vulnerable at the moment. We'll have to see here. She's not particularly close to getting to Castle Age, it doesn't look like. We got 3 farms. Lots of stone income, so we'll be able to put up a castle soon. And what's happening? We've got, you know, from Saracens I expect to see archers. Although I'm seeing 2 stables, so potentially we're going to see cavalry. What do Saracens get in terms of cav? Camel units, so we're going to see camels. Plus 25% HP. Getting bloodlines now. These scouts are a bit late. I don't know if they're going to do any damage. And Sek is small walling his woodline. This woodline's actually looking a bit... Got to refresh that lumber camp. Second town center here on wood and gold. We've got a massive cavalry archers already. And what do we have to answer this from? So Charles Martel and Gary are both up to Castle Age. I'm seeing 2 TCs, a handful of scouts. We've got some villagers coming into the middle, presumably looking for hunt. What's going on here? We're buying food, bought stone. Oh, are we trying to get a castle? We might be trying to get into a castle here. Let's see. Stone. Melly has 1,600 stone. Charles has 0, which means he just dropped a castle somewhere. Or no, a 3rd town center. What did he do with this? He must have sold stone to go up. You wouldn't have to do any trades to get stone. Because he bought 100 food, sold 100 wood, bought 100 stone. Interesting. Okay. We've got knights from Gary. Yeah, step lancers and scouts from our Mongol player. In terms of villager count, lowdown legends are 10 villagers ahead. That is largely accounted for in the fact that Melly is 17 villagers behind, and Secretary is 8 villagers. No, 12. Oh, quick math. Yeah, 8 villagers ahead. He was. He's gonna have to play his heart out here. We have 3 TCs on wood and gold. Yeah, this isn't the answer to Cav Archer. Do we have ballistics yet? Yeah, Secretary has ballistics. So these step lancers, I'm sure they have their uses, but they do not stand up against archer units. Buying food. What is Melly's game plan here? She's walling up. She has lots of stone now, 1,700 stone. She is clicked up now to Castle Age, so she is going to come up. She'll be able to put down a castle. I think what she's not used to, though, is needing a food economy to make her Tarkans. So we'll see how that washes, how that works out for her. I've played a lot of 2v1s versus players as good as Secretary, and I think he can probably take them on 2v1. Although Charles Martel, I think, is somewhat better than I am. So actually, it looks here like he's a 12-19 elo. I don't know how accurate that elo is. I don't know over how many games and how recent those games are. But that's a decent player. Gary's foot, I would say, is probably better than 938, although maybe that's biased by the fact that he doesn't do well 1v1 on open maps. All right, are we going to see some castles from Melly? She's now castle age. She has 1,600 stone. I would expect to see a castle now. She's going to need one sooner than later because she's going to get pressured before long. Charles is warning about the incoming CA from Secretary. All right, we got pikes now from Melly. I don't know if I can be unmuted, but deafened on Discord, and we've got some mic interference from other members, so I'm just muted up for now, or deafened as well. These pikes will ward off the light cav, and you know, step lancers can actually out micro. Oh boy, we're gonna have problems with our villagers here. This is gonna be rough. I don't expect fast walls from Melly, so we're gonna lose these villagers here. Yeah, we tried to build a tower, but that failed us. Looking at eco, low down legends are pulling ahead. There are more than 40 villagers ahead right now. Secretary is clicked up to imp. They all are except for Melly. So this game is going imp. We've got castle coming. Oh, we've got a castle now from Melly here. Built with 1 villager. That is not a good plan, but I'm sure it'll go up as long as it doesn't get scouted. They don't see it. But here comes a step lancer. Oh boy. Again, I don't expect quick walls from Melly. Oh, that hurts. We don't see any castles out of Secretary. He's playing very open and aggressive. No, don't fight the step. Oh, this hurts. What is our villager count here from Melly? Is that it right there? I think that's it right there. Oh, 18 villagers. That stings. That's difficult. She's got lots of gold. She's got a castle up on her front. But she's going to need an eco behind this. She can't do much with just a couple castles. It's also a civ she's unfamiliar with, so I don't know how much that's factoring into her performance here. Yeah, Sek's going to have to work his miracles. Alright, we got 2 castles up. One defending this gold, another one defending the front of the base. And we'll have to see here. She's got 19 villagers, so hopefully she... Taunt 33, create extra villagers. Hopefully she grows her economy somewhat, so she can get back in the fight. Tarkans are going to require food out of her, although she could go Cav Archer. She doesn't even build archery ranges unless she needs skirmishers for things, so I don't expect to see cavalry archers. We've got about 30 villager lead from Lowdown Legends. Knights out of Saracens. I don't know that that makes a lot of sense. Maybe he's unfamiliar with this civ. I would expect archers. I would expect camels. Am I missing something? A fairly large... Okay, so Secretary is going to push Gary, it looks like. He's got Trebuchet out and a mass of cavalry archers. I'm surprised I don't see Scorpions from either of them. Or Skirmishers. They aren't reacting. They aren't... we do have 3 sieges. Oh, there's a Scorpion. Alright, so Charles Martel is going counter units. I don't know that Secretary has scouted that yet. But hopefully he's thinking ahead. Oh, he sees the siege workshop, so he's aware. We got a forward castle. And what's going on here? You got pikemen and Tarkans. Okay, so she is creating Tarkans. Must be getting a little bit of advice from Secretary on units to create. We are going to need to grow our economy a bit here if we're going to make more than 1 or 2 Tarkans. Oh, look at this. Look at this, Melly. This is what happens when you underestimate an opponent. You go, we don't need to worry about her. You get surprised like this. And Tarkans have huge amounts of Pierce armor. Now, 1 Tarkan is not really going to sway the game, but this is a nice little surprise attack here. Wasn't anticipated, it looks like, by Charles Martel. I think the castle will go up. If not now, then later. Yeah, and the Tarkan is distracted. Do we have any upgrades on our cavalry? It looks like we have no attack upgrades, no armor upgrades at all. So that stings. We're going to need those for these Tarkans to really be useful. Yeah, and here are Scorpions now. We're going to need an answer to that. I guess from Magars. Magar Hussar might be nice. They're basically a trash unit. You can run them in. We're going to conscription from our castle. Do we see... I don't see any armor upgrades for Cav, so maybe we won't get Magar Hussar. The only way I've really played Magars is like a Phosphorus strat, where you just fast castle into basically spamming those. They're a very good unit, comparable to a knight. in early castle, and I've had some good luck with them. Kind of mixed. I wouldn't say I've always won with them, but it's a nice strat. I have not played them this way with their cavalry archers, I don't believe. They're not a civ that I play a lot of. I play a lot more of, like, say, Tatars, which are another traditional cavalry archer civ. Really not, I don't know, I'm not seeing a lot of aggression out of these guys. They're playing very defensive, right? Like, this is a reaction to the CA, but we're not hitting him at home at all. You don't want to be on the you don't want to be reacting constantly. You want to be acting. Okay, so that Assault was canceled. It's too far forward. There's... Okay, so it looks like we're going to light cav. Maybe that makes sense. Let me check the bonuses again here. Scout cavalry line costs minus 15%. And then we've got our melee upgrades, obviously, for free. So maybe that makes sense. They're cheaper. 15%, that's like 12 food. So we're looking at 68 food for a scout cavalry. This range, they do have the extra range, so that's 7 plus 5. No. Range, 4 plus 4 versus 7 plus 1. So the range is equal. So, oh, yeah, we do have Magyar Hussar. What did I say? I guess I was wrong. And we're seeing the cavalry armor coming in now for these units. Do we have our unique techs? I don't know. We can check that, I think. We have recurve bow. We do not have Corvinian army, though. So they are not trash units quite yet. Oh, but this hurts. Look at Gary's score. Gary's score is low. He's been hollowed out here. So Gary's kind of out of the game. Which makes this a 1v1. Melly, or not, sorry, Melly. Secretary versus Charles Martel. So Gary's going to have to reboom, which I know he's capable of doing. And Melly's going to have to boom. I wouldn't say reboom, because yes, she's... Oh, look at this! Guys, this is why this is called LEL. This is why it's Low Elo Legends League. Because of stuff like this. There are only a handful of players in this league who truly embrace the low elo way, and Melly is one of them. And it looks like my co-host is here. Give me a sec, guys. All right, my co-host is here for a few minutes. She loves this game as much as the rest of us. This is Melly Jr. What's your username?
Huh?
What's your username?
Little Scout.
Little Scout is here to join us. Oh man, this hurts Gary. Gary's getting wrecked by Secretary. And actually, Charles Martel's losing villagers here. Let's take a look at the eco count. Look at that. Charles Martel went from 144 villagers down to 120. And Gary's lost everything. 69 villagers down to 10 villagers. There was another game where he lost down to 10 villagers, and that was it. It was because of me. So it seems like a problem he regularly has. Yeah, this is the right counter unit, but it's not enough, it looks like. This extra range on the cavalry archer means they can kind of sit out of range a little bit. And if you don't attack with your whole ball of cavalry archers, the damage done is minimal. He's kind of even throwing units here. He's not being very cautious with his units, so it tells me he's not really worried. And we've gone to Magyar Hussar, guys. He's made a tech switch here, and he has Corvinian army. And so we are just relying on food economy now to produce our army. I'm sure he's going to still mix in CA. Do we see the unit queue somewhere? I don't see it. I might be blind. What's that? You want to see what? All right, let's see. My co-host wants to know. Yeah, it's over. It's over that quickly. Those, I'm telling you, these petards did their job. That's awesome. And game one goes to.
I'm gonna die.
Game one goes to. I'm gonna die. All right. That's awesome. All right. Let's look for game two here. I'll put you back on drafts so you guys can review the drafts. We used Huns. We used Magyars. So these civs in the middle here are available for I'm Gonna Die. We used Mongols and we used Mongols and who? Saracens. So we've still got Burgundians, Italians, Tatars, Byzantines, Malians for lowdown legends. All right, let me find the next game. They might already be in because there's the stream delay. So let's find it. Multiplayer. All right, they're in the lobby. It looks like we're just waiting on Charles Martel. And if you guys will give me just a minute here, and I'll be right with you. What's up, Tom? And we're back. Let's see where we're at. For those of you in Discord, you're seeing my browser, my game browser. For those of you on YouTube, you're just seeing the drafts right now. The next game looks like it's going to be Arena, chosen by the Lowdown Legends. And so why don't you speculate in the chat about what you think the next Civ picks are going to be. I'm not very good at this. Persians, maybe. We might see Celts.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think Celts. That way Mommy gets to pick her favorite Civ before the match is over. Oh, Pilgrims, it looks like, actually. We're going to see Pilgrims next. Your turn. Managing kids' bedtimes here, guys, so that's what you're hearing in the background. It's taking a while here to get going.
Just start.
Hmm? No, they finished game one already. And Mommy won. Mommy's team won. So they're starting game two now.
Are you playing?
Nope, I'm just watching. I'm talking about the game. because it's fun. It's fun when everyone gets to watch how the game goes and who wins and what plays are made, especially when you're participating in a tournament. Seeing how other players play helps you strategize and prepare for when you're going to play against them. How are we doing here? Still waiting. That's okay.
Ooh, she's purple.
Of course she's purple.
I thought she was gonna be blue.
You think Mommy was going to be blue? When is she ever blue? Yes, when she plays with Little Scout, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Melly? Because Melly takes pink, purple.
Mm-hmm.
What's those pink?
Pink.
Yeah, that
Closest thing is purple there. That'll be fun. Pink. Well, when they make it a 16-player game, right, guys? They'll give us pink. They'll give us what other colors? Maybe brown. I remember Age of Empires 1 had brown.
What?
Yeah. What other colors are there?
Green?
Green. Well, they already have green.
What dark green?
Dark gray. Kind of like black. You can make it black.
Yeah,
Just
black.
shadows on your computer screen. We have a bit of a holdup here. I'm going to try and get some inside info here as to when the game's going to start. Because as it turns out, one of the competitors is not too far from me. So I've sent a messenger. By horseback. Not really. On foot. Messenger on foot. To figure out where this game is and when's it going to start. And if I'm ignoring your comments, it's because I'm micromanaging a bunch of other things at the moment. I apologize. All right, we found the game. Spectator delay of 97 seconds. I will check in on any sort of...
92, 91, 90. Oh, it's gonna take forever. I don't think I'm gonna count down. And it's gonna come down soon. Because when I was there upstairs, she was almost done.
I have a question. Does Little Scout like Age of Empires, Abigail?
She does.
Oh, she does, yes. Talks about it at the dinner table, doesn't she? Yeah.
Why did you say I have a question? What did you do? I have a question. Like, why did it say I have a
Why did I pose it to you that way?
Yeah.
Oh, because someone asked that question.
Where?
Right there.
Oh.
Chico
Oh, yes.
to... I'm not going to attempt that. Sorry, I don't know how to read. I don't know how to read that.
Oh, yes. Little Scout loves the game.
Yeah. 27 seconds.
Game. Did Little Scout like the game? Oh, yes. Little Scout loves the game.
Mm-hmm.
I should see it. Did Little Scout like the game? Oh, yes. Little Scout loves the game. Wait, what game?
This game.
Oh my goodness. I'm so confused. I was confused, but now I'm not because I realized what it was.
And we're going into game 2. The score is 1-0 for I'm Gonna Die. And we are on Pilgrims. And let's see. We have dock and houses immediately from Secretary. Good job. And we are headed west for I'm Gonna Die. We've got Melly Bean and Secretary here. And we've got Lowdown Legends going mid-east. Not all the way east. Am I not streaming here anymore? Sorry, guys. I don't know why. I thought I was streaming here. It must have quit on me. Oh, I think when I stopped the application. All right, so it should be live now on Discord. You should be able to see Capture Age there. All right, and got a town center immediately from Gary here on this wood line. He's got gold nearby, and Charles Martel is just a stone's throw away. Get out of the way, foxes. And he's also got gold. He's not on a wood line, though. That's not great, because now he's going to have to spend wood on a lumber camp. He does have a lumber camp here, which will help him in the interim, I guess. We have, interestingly, we have Melly here right next to her monastery. I don't know if that's a great place for her town center. It's a little bit cramped. Maybe there's some rationale there. And then we have Secretary here on this wood line right near the water. And we have some turkeys traveling around by transport ship. Let's take a quick look at scouting. We do not know where our opponents are, but we are scouting with cows. Melly is eating her cows, and we have our dock. I don't see any fishing ships yet. We left behind 2 villagers on wood. Here we have 3 on wood, 1 on fish. This is more my build, and I usually try and get my first fishing ship out even before my town center goes down. So that Secretary is playing a lot more like how I would be playing this map. And we have a second dock from Secretary here, which is interesting. I don't even think to put down a second dock, at least not on the mainland. I usually put down a second dock on my island. Melly is on food, wood. We've got our first fishing ship out. Let's take a look at our opponents from Lowdown Legends. Do they see the opponents? They do. They have scouted out Secretary's starting location. They have their first fishing ships out. Both of them, actually. We're collecting food here from our town center. I guess we don't need to be near a wood line if we're just collecting food. We spent some wood. We put down a lumber camp over here. The downside is our wood line is exposed, which is, less than ideal. We've got 1 million wolves trying to attack Gary's villager here. If you garrison your town center, they'll die, but... Or we can just... All right, there we go. Down go the wolves. Eco balance, very even, 38 to 36. We must just be exploring. I don't know why we have turkeys in our transport ship here from Gary. And more fishing ships here. In terms of eco balance, we're 43 to 38. I don't know if that's strictly villagers. Let's determine that quickly. We can go society. We can do this, and we can see fishing ships here. We've got 8 fishing ships and 20 villagers for Secretary. We have 3 apiece for Gary and Charles Martel. We got 2 for Melly, and villager count. Yeah, Secretary has a commanding eco lead here. Interesting. In terms of exploration, there's where we're at, and then resources collected is tracking right along with the fishing ships and villager situation. So actually, these 3 are clustered a lot closer together than I would expect, and Secretary has a commanding lead. Clearly, this is a map he is comfortable with. Oh, we have hijinks here. I almost missed this. I'm glad I stopped looking at boring statistics and charts. Looks like Charles Martel is going after Secretary's villagers on his island. Now, Dark Age docks do not shoot arrows anymore, which is a change that has been made recently. So you can't use these as defensive structures in a situation like this anymore. All right, Secretary's evacuating. And he has relinquished control of his island to Charles Martel. We have the click up from everyone except Secretary, who doesn't have the food for it, which I find interesting. Melly's up at about the same time as Charles Martel, and Gary will be up first. Speaking of civs, we have Persians and Celts, which is actually what I predicted for Arena, but actually that makes sense. Persians make sense for a Nomad start. Celts make sense for Melly. We have, is this Byzantines? We have Byzantines and Malians for our lowdown legends. I don't know exactly what the benefits of these civs are for Nomad start. I know that I've played Byzantines on Nomad maps before. The Town Watch and Free Town Patrol is valuable. Fast Imping is valuable. I don't remember what other compelling advantages there are for a Nomad start. Malians are going to be played like a Cav civ, right? Because they get their unique tech. Cavalry +5 attack for Rimba. But Gabetto, I think in the Castle Age is going to be likely. Their barracks units have extra pierce armor. So I think I'm going to see Gabetto out of Charles Martel. Although Gary. Although both of them are good at their late game. So maybe we will see Cav. And out of Charles Martel, maybe Camel. Yeah, that makes sense. Camels to meet the Persian threat of the Savar. All right, we're doing some building walls. We've got our market, we've got our blacksmith, and some walls. Melly's walling over here too. And we're going to click up immediately to Castle Age, probably from Secretary. He almost has the food for it. And I expect fast castle builds out of everyone. Yeah, there's the click from Gary. Gary is walling as well with his buildings. Walling to his TC. And we've got Charles behind him who's playing a little more open, maybe feeling a little bit protected by Gary. Although he's walling here to the edge. Okay, so they're walling off this edge of the map. There's lots of land here to be taken, so we'll see who takes control of the map. Melly is walling here, stone walling to the coast, and then probably just using the tree line. I think there's a hole, maybe? No, there's a tree there, so that's closed. They're going to want to move out and take more of this land. Otherwise, they have a very small corner of the map. In terms of eco, though, we have 80 to 64. So this is where the experience of Secretary is obvious. He is making a lot of economy. We have 29 villagers and 20 fishing ships. Melly's got 22 and 7. And then we have 26 and 7 and 26 and 5. So Melly actually plays Pilgrims a lot better than she plays Steppe. That's one thing I'm noticing here. And it looks like Gary and Secretary are going to be up to Castle almost simultaneously. I kind of expect a boom out of Persians, right? They may be early knights, but I don't see any barracks, so you can't get a stable. There is a bit of play for water here. Secretary has slight numbers advantage there. Yeah, and now he's pumping out a bunch of water units, so he may take control here of water. It doesn't look like Charles is worried at all about water control, although he's got 4 docks, so maybe that's not true. In terms of military numbers, we have the edge for I'm Gonna Die. Again, that's largely Secretary playing for water. We've got Charles saying, hey, oh, yeah, sorry, the red units are Charles, so he is certainly playing water. We'll see if they lose it. Secretary has a lot to lose if he loses water because he's got 20 fishing ships. He has... Oh, boy. Game paused. They must have had to pause for a second. Did I miss a message? I don't know if this is a connectivity issue, but we're paused. Nice thing when you're paused in Capture Age is you can still scroll around the map. We're on to farms for Gary because he's got a lot fewer fishing ships, right? 5 fishing ships, so you need the food income some way. Interestingly, Charles Martel does not have any land-based food income. So he's going to be a bit food starved. Yes. All right. Lag. Oh, boy. All right. Yeah, I guess they're on a different server for this game. Before it was Korea Central, now it was... I don't remember which server, so hopefully it doesn't cause too many problems for them. All right, so we're harassing Gary's docks. Gary's like, hey, help me. And I don't see military buildings. Am I missing something? I see market. I see a market. I see houses, docks. I see nothing in terms of military production from any of the players yet. Not even secretary. So this is an ocean battle right now. We are contending for water. Oh yeah, I'm seeing the lag as well. Well, that might just be Capture Age lag. It's a resource hungry game, or resource hungry piece of software. I see this going imp. I don't see anyone doing any fighting on land right now. Charles Martel is on his way up. I see a castle. From the castle, we could be getting Gabetto. So massive Gabetto could be a problem. We could see some raids here in Castle Age. From Gary. I don't think Secretary's going to be able to take water easily. He is up in terms of tech on his ships. Charles just arrived in Castle Age. He is getting medium warship, which will upgrade his fires and his hulks. So if he wants to attack, now is the time before those upgrades come in. Attack upgrades affect hulks. Let's take a look at attack upgrades. No one has attack upgrades. Armor upgrades. No one has armor upgrades. So this is a tech difference of the medium warships. And now that he's upgraded, it's just a 1-to-1 play. No one has. We are doing some trades here at the market. Are we going to see an armor or attack upgrade? I don't know. I don't see it. Speaking of attack upgrades, we've got forging for Secretary, which is going to affect his hulks, make them more deadly. Although he mostly has fire ships at the moment. University has your other upgrades for ships, which are easy to forget. I forget them since the rework on water. That's a lot of fishing ships. In terms of eco, we still have the lead for I'm Gonna Die, 111 to 90. Let's take a look at resources collected. I'm sure, yeah, this is just a blowout, is what this is. I mean, I don't want to insult Melly, but if you're only that far ahead of Melly, I don't even know what you're doing playing this stuff. It's like, you know, this is a 500 elo difference here. These players are 1,000 or better. Melly's at 500 at best, and that's just what the numbers say. From ranked play, and but Melly is a lot better at playing pilgrims. She's played a lot of pilgrims, and you can see that it's raising her performance. And they clearly, these two, play more standard maps. Secretary clearly knows what he's doing on pilgrims. and nomad maps in general, and has just pulled way, way ahead of all of them, nearly doubling the resources collected from the other team by himself. So this can snowball into a victory for I'm Gonna Die. I don't know. Now we do have a boom for Gary. He is matching villager numbers with Secretary. He just doesn't have the fishing numbers, so his food income is going to be relying on farms. So here's some Gebettos. Looks like we're making a play for relics. And our stables. We got bloodlines. We have the click to imp already. We're already halfway up to imp from Secretary. Neither of these two. Gary might click up soon. He's got enough food for it. He has the buildings for it. So it looks like Gary and Secretary will be imp. And we're going to see Gebetto, probably a transition into Cav, as well as, Savar. Do we have the resources for Savar immediately? We do not. But we certainly have the eco numbers to go Savar. Savar, right? I always get them confused with the Slav unique unit, which is... no, Savar is the Persian heavy cav. We do have some land-based eco here in terms of food income, but not... Look at that fishing population. This is why you contend water. If you're going to have this many fishing ships, I never have that many fishing ships. I'll have a handful. We've relocated. We rehomed our fishing to the corner. This works pretty well. People don't think to check the corner often. So you can keep your fish alive for a bit longer that way. Gary's already now a third of the way up to imp. With 71 villagers to 98. Actually, this 98 is an eco pop. As you can see here, 60 villagers, 38 fishing ships. That's 98. So here, 71, that's 66 villagers and 5 fishing ships. With Charles Martel lagging behind, I think because he went aggro on water, that slowed his eco. Oh, do we have some early raids? Do we have a hole in our walls? And we've got the Cavalier upgrade. It just got clicked up. I think that house will break. At what cost? I don't know. Wolf. We're spreading now. We're taking map control. And we're spamming Cavalier. Are we going to see Savar? We have Horse Collar now. We have Iron Casting. We have all of our... Do we have all? Yeah, we have all of our Cav armor upgraded. From the opponents, we have Forging. So I don't see any stables. So it looks like we are going Gebetto. Oh, but we've already got the Cav into the base. Yeah, Gebetto wasn't the play here. Not this late, at least. We're already at like 30 minutes. If you wanted Gebetto, you had to be up faster to castle. Their castle times were too slow, I think. You needed to do this while you were... Instead of contending water, you needed to be hitting him on land with Gebetto. This might already be good game. Oh, although Gary is producing camel. I think it's too late already. We're getting cleaned out here. 170 to 135. Melly's putting down her first castle. What kind of camels are these? We've got Camel Rider. We do not have any armor upgrades. We only have one attack upgrade. They are underperforming. Are we going to see the Savar click? Maybe we aren't. They're so expensive to upgrade. Melly has 3,000 food. She could go up to Imp if she wants to, or she could send it to Secretary so you can upgrade to Savar. But maybe it's not even needed when you're out teching by this amount. It's a waste of resources, perhaps. We got a forward castle. We've got a treb out. I don't know. Can they come back from this? They're both imp. But they've got a smaller economy by a fairly large margin too. I mean, I would be interesting to see them pull out a win here so this can go game 3. But I am feeling a little bit better about our performance. Me and the Motivational Howlers, me and Motivation Man, got absolutely crushed by Secretary and Melly. And it's nice to see that we aren't unique in that regard. We might actually be contenders against some of the other teams. What we have here is a dangerous duo. All right, and we got Woad Raiders now. Being spammed. I don't see a Siege Workshop. We got the Click to Imp from Melly. We got Double Bit Axe, better late than never. Man, those wolves are nasty. My daughter's falling asleep. Definitely not into this game. Oh, you know what? They are massing camel, so looks like we got a conversion even. So well, they're not out for the count yet. The rumors of their demise were premature. Blast Furnace rather for a secretary. Do we see Savar click? It's expensive. It's like I think 1,200 food. Maybe he's saving for it. Is it 1,200 and 800? I think. There it is. Savar is coming. We're about to get Savar. So now he'll just want to delay losing his army. We're fighting these. Looks like heavy camel. Oh no, just camel. Thought I saw gold tint on them. Do we have camel? Oh, we got we got halbs for Charles Martel. So the answer to that, yeah, don't lose all your cav though. For clicking to Savar. Yeah, maybe pull back. Yeah, pull back. Pull them back. Wait for Savar. The answer to camels and to halbs is going to be trash bow. Do we have trash bow upgrades? We do not. Commanderan. Commanderan. Archer line gold cost replaced by... You don't even need that necessarily if you've got the wood income or the gold income. But I don't see any range upgrades whatsoever. So we're probably not going to see crossbow. We're probably just going to see... There's Savar. All right, Melly, let's do it. Let's bring those rams. Deal the death blow. Are we going to see Siege Ram? She likes to wait for Siege Ram. Don't get converted. Maybe we want faith. How do I find out if... Here we go. Monastery. No faith is researched. Let's do a check on eco here. We've got 210 to 137. 96 villagers and 38 fishing ships from Secretary. And I can't see Melly. Melly, 43 villagers, 34 fishing ships. So our fishing ship numbers have come up. Versus 51 villagers and 70 villagers and 9 fishing ships for Lowdown Legends. Unopposed here on water. Just fishing out the entire ocean. All right, what do you have to play? They've got the right thing. They've got camels, they've got helbs. That's what you got to play. You're just out of position. You gotta try and wall against this as well. Well, we almost saw a bunch of villagers die there. I don't know if you can push this back with half the eco. Now, how effective is this eco? Well, we got a lot of active fishing ships. Well, big fight here, guys. What upgrades do we have though? We have the first armor upgrade for Gary. Halbs have the first armor upgrade. And we've got some attack upgrades, so they're not totally unupgraded. And they do, oh boy. Lag. The game's lagging. Someone chose a terrible server location, I think. Lag? It means like the network, the internet, the data packets are getting lost somewhere, and so the game has to pause. Hopefully we don't see a drop. This would be an unfortunate time to see a drop. Yeah, the game can just like crash.
Oh, that's happened to me and you.
Yeah, it says out of sync error, blah blah blah.
And it like it says send error report, don't send error report.
No, that's an actual game crash. This is more just a
what the hey, guys?
What the hey?
I don't type anything in like. Have a go for the kitty cat.
Yes.
All right. No, we had a dispute about stand ground patrol. I didn't see anything like that. Gary thought that he saw that happening from Secretary. We could always watch it back if that were to become an issue. Now, stand ground patrol, I think, is allowed, to be clear, everyone. You can stand ground patrol. It's to stand ground patrol your units into the enemy. So I believe you can, like, for example, stand ground patrol your units in front of your siege or something. It's only if you use that against an enemy. So you patrol them into the enemy. I think that's specifically what the wording says in the handbook. And we can take a look at that if that becomes an issue more than once in this league. It is a very frustrating thing to play against. I've had to deal with it before. All right. Melly's units got cleaned up. Still a few rams, but they are not escorted anymore. If I were Melly, I'd be sneaking in this way where no one is paying attention and coming this way with the Woad Raiders. Eco numbers 218 to 144. It looks like we've lost a bit of momentum here. Secretary has the food and gold. Melly really does not have any gold income to be producing units, although maybe it's just that she is constantly producing. Yeah, she's queued a bunch of woads, so they are producing army. Lots of fishing going on. I think the problem is they need to refresh their docks. They need to get over this way. Idle eco, a lot of idle eco from Gary. Curiously, the least from, well, Melly's got very low, but you can't have a lot of idle eco when your eco is small to begin with. That's a pro tip. Keep your eco small so you can control it. That's my philosophy. Oh, and we got hand cannons now. So see, I would do trash units or trash bows, but instead we have hand cannon. Interesting. I'd run away from Halbs with Savar. Doesn't seem concerned taking this fight. Maybe just relying on the hand cannons to even out the odds. Bombard cannon here. All right, Melly. Let's make some plays here. Looks like we're going to break in this way. Eco count The eco is recovering for Lowdown Legends. Let's take a look at their resources collected. I don't know if they're really putting it to effective use. They're really not doing too hot here. Melly trails them by 10k resources, but Secretary is almost 2xing them. Gold as well. Where is his gold income coming from? Does he have trade routes? I don't see trade. So we're still just taking map res. Yeah, there's still plenty of gold on the map. Oh, we're losing our villagers here mining gold to the hand cannons. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure camels and halbs just melt to hand cannoneers. And I think there's a potential spoiler walking down the stairs, so I predict the game's going to end relatively soon. For those of you who've just joined us from the game, we are lagging behind because of the stream delay, and YouTube is lagging even further behind. And we see the good game called by Charles Martel, and it's game over. Well played, and if you're playing in this league, you better watch out for I'm gonna die, because they ain't gonna die. You gonna die. All right, thanks for tuning in for the stream. We have kids that we're gonna put to bed, so there's gonna be no post-game interview tonight. Feel free to chat among yourselves about the game, and we'll be with you with another great match in the days to come. Thanks for joining, guys, and with that, I'm gonna call it.